Imagine for a moment a river flowing. It doesn't argue with the rocks. It doesn't try to push the mountain. It simply flows around, over, through. And maybe life, just like water, becomes easier when you don't resist the boulders. You just flow through them. You've done it before, haven't you? Even now, you're already doing it again. And that's the first secret of acceptance. When you stop needing it to be different, the world changes anyway. And what if, just for a moment, you truly realize that your beliefs, they're not just thoughts, but the architects of your reality. Those old beliefs, those patterns of pressure, resistance, criticism, they don't need to argue with the new ones. Because as your unconscious mind reorganizes now, maybe it's already noticing how naturally these ideas click. You grow because you're meant to. You bounce back because resilience is who you are. And everything is a mirror. Remember when you used to think you had to get it all right first, before you could feel good about yourself. And now that idea feels kind of unnecessary, doesn't it? Because you're enough, always were. Even when you forgot, even when you doubted, you were already growing. Let me tell you a story. There was a sculptor once. She didn't create the statue by building it, she uncovered it, by removing everything that wasn't it. So what happens when you begin removing everything that isn't acceptance, judgment, resistance, fear? And what remains is who you already were beneath it all. That's how easily the unconscious learns, by remembering. Now consider this. There's a version of you, already alive, in some part of your nervous system, that knows how to sit with pain without running. That version of you breathes deeply in the moment, listens completely, and moves forward, not because it's easy, but because it's aligned. What's fascinating is, the moment you act as if you already are that version, your brain, your body, your reality, they begin to obey. So here's a question. What happens when you combine curiosity, compassion, and courage? You begin asking better questions, like, what else could this mean? How is this here to help me? What part of me is ready to evolve? As those questions loop and spiral inside your unconscious, new pathways emerge, new meanings, new energy. Because as you already know, failure, it isn't real, it's feedback. Pain isn't punishment, it's a message. And you're not broken, you're becoming. You've felt moments of alignment before, haven't you? Where the inside and the outside click. When you breathe and somehow the world breathes with you. That's what happens when your beliefs match your truth. Because now you're learning, not just to accept, but to respond, to choose. And that's power. Real, quiet, grounded, flexible human power. Let's go deeper. Imagine you're standing in a forest. The wind speaks only truth. The earth hums in feedback. Every tree bends, because it trusts the storm. You're the tree, the roots. Your values, the sway. Your flexibility, the leaves, your perspective, and the storm. Just life reminding you how strong you already are. And in every interaction now you remember, people respond not to facts but to beliefs. And you're already the kind of person who radiates warmth, confidence, and presence. Because now you know, self-approval, it's all that matters. The strongest frame wins. People follow certainty, not perfection. Mastery creates magnetism. Rapport is created, not stumbled upon. So you smile differently now, don't you? Because somewhere in that space between these words, the installation is already happening. You're already operating from a growth mindset, open-minded resilience, acceptance without judgment, emotion processed, not suppressed, presence over pressure, beliefs over fact. You act from alignment, you speak from calm, you move from clarity. Let's tie this all together, shall we? Acceptance is clarity, Acceptance is resilience. Acceptance is creative power. Acceptance is not surrender, it's strategy. Because the person who accepts everything can transform everything. And this is the part where it all lands. Like a key turning. Click. You don't force it. It just unlocked. So as you continue to integrate this effortlessly, unconsciously, completely, you might begin to notice changes you didn't expect, in ways you didn't even plan, because you've just installed your new operating system, and this time it fits perfectly.